Hi there guys, it's me Firemoose here, and welcome back to Defining a Community, the series where I review every map in the Call of Duty Zombies franchise and see what makes them good or not so good. Last episode we went over Shi No Numa and saw the multiple gameplay additions it added to the mode. For today's episode, we'll be going over the map that changed everything people knew about zombies, Der Riese, and how it defined a community. Before we start, don't forget to like and subscribe and to also share this video with others. It would be greatly appreciated. So, what happened between the release of these two maps? Again, nothing really. The developers wanted to get a map out in the next DLC pack. They heard the dislike for Shi No Numa and wanted to make a map that was better. They expanded on the innovative features that were added in the previous map and continued adding more for the next one. Der Riese was released in DLC 3 of World at War in August of 2009.
That song was driving me nuts!
A lot of the community loves this map. The amount of innovation Treyarch was able to put in it in only a 2-month period is incredible. Many of the gameplay staples from the previous maps have been brought back with some tweaks and other additions. Even though the setting is not as scary as the previous maps, the setting does create an eerie feeling in the facility. I remember when this map came out, my brother and my cousin were sitting in the living room and I remember seeing the map and experiencing my first true zombies game. The other maps I only saw in passing, but this map was the first time sitting down and watching a whole game play out, seeing the different ciphers and gameplay features. As opposed to the other World at War maps, Treyarch hasn't put much attention on this map in other games. It's a playable map in World at War and BO1, and a remaster in BO3. It is probably the least referenced World at War map in any other Treyarch game, which is a shame because the story of this map is an incredible enhancement from Shi No Numa and continues to add to the zombie storyline. After leaving the Rising Sun facility in Shi No Numa with Richtofen's diary, the crew goes back to Der Riese, or also known as the Giant Facility referenced in one of the radios. The facility is run by a Nazi research group called Group 935 to help the Nazi Party try and win the war. Richtofen's goal is to use the notes in his diary to try and use the teleporters at Der Riese to get to the moon and get revenge on a little girl named Samantha who controls all the zombies. I can't make this stuff up. When they get back to the facility, they find that it is overwhelmed with zombies, and again, they find themselves in a battle to keep themselves alive. There's also a lot of story from the radios that are around the map about what happened to the facility before the zombies came about, but there are too many for this video, so if you want to watch them, go look it up on YouTube, radio audio, and then come back to this video when you're done. The story from the radios at the time when Group 935 was in full swing and when the group fell is shown through the setting of the entire map. The name of the map, Der Riese, meaning the giant in German, tells you exactly what type of map you're getting into. There is a major difference between Der Riese and Shi No Numa in its layout. Coming from a jungle/swamp setting into a desolate factory helps create a feeling of uncertainty. Even though both Shi No Numa and Der Riese are similar sizes, the high walls and fences of Der Riese make even the biggest areas feel small. Even though it took some parts from a multiplayer map in the DLC, the main inspiration of the setting was a real German facility in World War II, also called the Giant. There are 4 definitive areas in the map that allow each player to have their own section in the map. There's the spawn, which is the biggest spawn out of any of the other maps in World at War. In the middle of the spawn is one of the newest features, the Pack-a-Punch, which is just out of reach of the player at the beginning. There are also the 3 teleporter areas, each having a different level of difficulty. The one to the right of spawn is very cramped. The one to the left is less cramped, but can still give players a lot of trouble. And the one in the very back is very open, which is perfect for training. Like the other maps, Der Riese finishes off the use of a single color, being primarily blue, and this is really seen in the BO3 version. There is more writing on the walls, which was really missed out in Shi No Numa, with messages sprawled on the walls and on top of roofs. When you go into the labs to the left of spawn, there are diagrams and instruments and other things across all the tables, allowing the player to see what the scientists were doing on their subjects. One little detail I noticed just outside the teleporter right of spawn is a body hanging in a room just outside the map. The first thing most players notice is the giant eclipse happening above them the entire game. It makes the player feel like they are in eternal night without an end. Damn, that sounds poetic, oh god. Finally, the major thing outside the map is the Mucho Apka?
Mucho apka.
I'm butchering that horribly. Also known as Hitler Stonehenge, or the Fly Trap, a real-life thing that was used by the Nazis to attempt time travel with a device called the Bell. The teleporters in the map are designed after the alleged design of what the Bell would have looked like. But the big change is with the gameplay. Some could even say that the change is giant. I'm back with the puns, baby, woo! There are massive changes and features that were added from previous maps and brand new ones that changed the flow of the entire game. The biggest and most obvious is the Pack-a-Punch machine. Like how perks changed the game when they were added to Verrückt, Pack-a-Punch completely changed the flow of zombies. In this map, after activating each teleporter and connecting it to the main frame and spawn, the capsule holding Pack-a-Punch is open and is available for the player to use. By spending 5,000 points, the player can get their current gun upgraded into a much superior weapon. This gives guns more ammo, more damage, and greater reload speed. The starting pistol has one of the worst damage in the entire game, but once upgraded, it is almost too powerful. This allows for even more players to get to the highest round possible with a combination of both perks and Pack-a-Punch. The other features were minor in comparison, but also brought a good change to the game. Power is brought back and adds another thing of difficulty that was in Verrückt, but was missing in Shi No Numa. The electric trap is brought back and is in the best location on the entire map, right in the middle of a great training spot. The box is brought back and continues to move when overused, now with a blue light to tell players where it is. Inside the box is the return of the Wunderwaffe from Shi No Numa. Once upgraded, it becomes an unstoppable gun that can destroy an entire horde in 1 to 2 shots. When it's upgraded, it can even damage the player by removing their jug when hit with it. Luckily, this is only in the World at War version of the map. Also in the box is the new addition of the Monkey Bomb, a new tactical grenade that is used to distract zombies. Let's say a teammate goes down and you need to revive them. Throwing the Monkey Bomb helps get zombies out of that area and allowing you to get your teammate without getting hit. Once the monkey is done moving around and talking, it explodes, killing the zombies around it. This makes it easier to get players up compared to the other maps in the game. A new wall weapon was also added in the map, the Bowie Knife. This allows the player to kill zombies with a one-hit knife until round 10. The new mode of transportation, the teleporters, allow for movement much quicker than any other form of transportation. For 1500 points, you can travel from one side of the map to the other faster than before. Also, every time you teleport, a drop is spawned in at spawn, but if you overuse the teleporters, drops stop spawning in. You can get any of the 5 drops that are in the game, the same 4 returning drops of max ammo, double points, insta-kill, and nuke, in a brand new one called the Carpenter. This new drop, when picked up, rebuilds all the barriers on the map and gives all the players 200 points. Seems pretty useless, but will get more important later in the series. By one of the new teleporters is a catwalk that has one entrance and one exit. Shi No Numa started to bring training into the spotlight in the zombies community, and this map absolutely destroyed that. Players can survive on the catwalk for a long time, getting to high rounds easier. Finally, the Hellhounds are back from Shi No Numa, bringing back another type of challenge. A new feature that was added to the map allows me to create a brand new section for these videos, the Easter egg section of the map. Now, don't think these Easter eggs are the same size as the eggs found in modern games, but being the first map to have a very involved Easter egg, it's special. To activate it, the player needs to shoot a panel on the fly trap structure. After that, the player sees power-ups start rotating and moving up out of the fly trap. The player now needs to run around the map and play hide-and-seek with Samantha to find 2 teddy bears and a monkey bomb and shoot them. After that, nothing really happens in the World at War and BO1 versions of the map. In the BO3 version, once completing the fly trap Easter egg, if the player returns to the furnace in the room off of spawn to the right, they will get a specialist weapon called the Annihilator, a nice reward for players who went through the trouble to complete the egg. There are also little minor Easter eggs around the map that give lore or are just for fun. Around the map there are little pieces of diary notes that give more information about the world the game mode is in. In one room on a corkboard are a bunch of photos of zombies in different areas, which could help the community locate where the next map will be. If you throw a monkey into the furnace, instead of the normal talking it does, it starts to scream as if it was alive, which is very unsettling. Finally, if you go prone in front of the speed cola machine, one player can pick up 25 points, just like a quarter. This is the only way in the entire game to get points that end in a 5. There are other things around the map that are even more minor than those Easter eggs that are just initials or thank you notes from the Treyarch Zombies development team. Moving from World at War to the other games didn't cause much change to the general gameplay. Nothing really changed in the BO1 version, except for the BO1 variants of weapons. The developers did change the bug with the Wunderwaffe that got rid of the player's Juggernog. The major changes that occurred were in the BO3 version. There was a change in the flytrap Easter egg mentioned before in the Easter egg section. The perks now move every game, changing up how you play and what doors you want to open. There was also a major nerf to the Wunderwaffe, making it a weak gun for high rounds. A minor Easter egg is the appearance of the Mob of the Dead plane on the top of one of the teleporters. There's also a new Easter egg that allows the player to get a new perk machine around the map by throwing monkeys into the 3 teleporters and activating a switch in the spawn. After that, a giant robot outside shoots a laser at the Derice sign onto a snow pile, revealing a brand new perk. What did I just read? This map is a fan favorite map between every person in the community. People I've asked agreed that there really isn't any problem with the map. At this point in the Zombies development, this is as perfect as a map can get. The map itself is a perfect balance of difficulty and fun. The camping on the catwalk allows for teamwork with other players. All the little things help add enjoyment and also help the player. I love this map, and I could play it so many times and never get bored. For this episode, I'm giving Der Riese a 9 out of 10. An excellent map for now, but I'm excited to see what the future holds for the other maps. In this series, after reviewing every map in a game, I want to find the average rating of the entire game by taking the rating of each map and calculating the average. For World at War, the rating is a 6.75. A good start to a series, but there's a lot of improvement to come. Thank you for watching this video. I probably won't be making a defining community for next week because I'll be finishing up the scripts and videos for the other Black Ops 1 maps. So if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and share it with other people. Again, thank you for watching and see you in the next one. Bye.